because we're going to be very brief tonight. Welcome, Matt. We've missed you. It's been a long time since we've seen you. I need to talk to you at the end of this. Hey, Sabrina. Hey, Angela. Welcome. We're just getting started. So that means Crystal and Lakeisha and Craig. So I hope they got the email. All right. So we are recording. A couple of quick little things. In looking at the Blackboard, most of you, if not all of you, maybe one here, has completed most of the things that you've needed to do in Blackboard. So when you get to that, let's talk about going to TaskStream. I know Suzanne's done that, but really turn it in. I've heard from several other people in another class where turning in has been a little bit of a problem and has been less than agreeable. So if you run into that, just ignore turn it in. Just go straight on into the document in TaskStream to download your evidence, which is your ODP. You also need to download your document about how it relates to those 9 standards. Hey, Lakeisha, how it relates to those 9 standards. And that can be one document. Matt, you missed this, but when you go into TaskStream, you got to download your product, which is your ODP, and then you have to download a standards, how it relates to the superintendent standards, and there are 9 of those. And so maybe if you're running into some problems, Matt, you and I can maybe Zoom, and Craig can Zoom a little bit later on sometime this week to talk about that. But go into TaskStream. If turn it in is giving you a problem, just ignore it. Go straight on in to download your ODP and your how they relate to the superintendent standards. Now, in the superintendent standards, as we talked about in class, and as Suzanne has discovered, I would really prefer you do one document where you address all 9 of them. And make sure within that document you say, I am distinguished in 1.B. Because I need to see that written 9 times. You okay, Sabrina? I need to hear that 9. I need to see that 9 times. So just put it in one paper. Now, they're not going to let you, as Suzanne said, they're not going to let you out of TaskStream until you have put that paper into 9 different spots. That's right, Suzanne? And so you're going to have to just cut and paste and just put it in there. But one paper, just put it in there 9 times. If you have problems, just give me a call. So moving forward, that's where we are. And yes.
I'm sorry, Dr. Sun, question. When I downloaded my final ODP into TaskStream, I thought that when it said the descriptors, which were actually the each standard for the superintendent standard, I took each one of them. So it ended up being like maybe a paragraph that I wrote in my explanation. Was that okay to separate it in the whole thing? That's fine.
That's fine. We'll get through that too. That's fine. It's just easier if I read it once, but it's fine, Lakeisha, it's fine.
Okay.
Did you resolve your turn it in problem?
Yes, sir. I just went straight to TaskStream and went on and submitted it.
All right, good. That's what you need to do. So I am missing Craig and Crystal, so I hope they got my email. All right, so looking at that, you all are pretty much complete with the course. Tonight, of course, is the final piece to it. So I really quickly want to talk to you about 702, and then I want to answer any questions you have. So let me go to, I got to share first. And again, when we are done, we are done. So if you need to go somewhere and do something, then you are free to do that. Although, Matt, I do need to talk to you and Craig if he joins us. All right. Are you seeing my screen, everybody? Okay. Let me get to 700. I want to talk about 708 real quick and what to expect with it. And then I want to open it up for any kind of questions you might have. All right. So 702, I'm sorry. 702, and I will open this. All right, so let's talk about 702, some of the logistics of 702. We talked about this when Matt, this may be new to you, but we talked about this when we were at our last weekend. And so here are kind of what we know about it. The teacher is going to be Dr. Hoschlaw. Is that his name? Is that what Oh, I wrote it down. I thought I had it up here, but he is from, oh gosh, hang on. I can pull that up right away. Oh, or did I erase it? Let me see. Yep, Hochert. It's going to be Dr. Morgan A. Hochert, and he's out of Belmont, North Carolina. And so here are, there's his name, and I can, I'll put that up on my thing here. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, here it is. All right, so the intent is that you're going to continue to probably to Zoom on Tuesday night. But let me just say, because I know Melody sometimes had some issues with that with her board meeting, that is not set in stone. So as soon as the doctor reaches out to you, you may want to let him know if there are any real conflicts, and you may want to change the day. As far as I know, this is the only course that he's teaching for this semester. So I would reach out to him early, and I will send you, I'll put his information up here at the top of this file when I open it up. But you may want to reach out to him. But as I understand it, you will be meeting, his plans are for you to meet on Tuesday nights, 6 o'clock. He may be able to do 7 o'clock. So I would reach out to him as soon as you can if there's some more, if there's some real issues with that, or let him know that there are going to be some conflicts that come up. From what I also understand, classes are going to start for you on May 18th and 19th. Is going to be the first weekend for you came straight from his email, in Fayetteville, at Fayetteville Christian. You'll meet at the same place. I'm not sure what room you'll meet in, because obviously we've met in 3 of the 4. So he'll reach out to you at some point. So I'm saying all this, be looking for an email from him, and I will go back and put his name up here at the top with his email address and phone numbers or whatever it is that we have. So, but be looking for that. I know Sabrina has already reached out to me, and I think we've heard back from the university, or I know we have, Sabrina, about registration. I think, have any of you gotten your registration information from the university? And Sabrina, do you want to tell them what they told you?
They said we were enrolled and it would show up a week before class started in Blackboard.
I looked in, I went on, when I logged in and went to the course assignments for the schedule, I saw the class on there.
Right.
So it's already on your Blackboard.
It's already not on my Blackboard, but it shows that I'm registered for it.
Okay. So you don't have to, as I understand it, Sabrina, you don't have to, or all of you, you don't have to do anything. The university's going to do that, and you're automatically, and that's the way it's going to work from now on. The university will automatically enroll you until you notify them, which none of you will, that you want out of the program, because none of you are going to want that. But, and then I'm assuming the bill will come along a little bit later on. Is that kind of how it works? I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure it is. All right, so the weekends that you might want to start planning for is the 18th and 19th of May, which is before the university actually starts its summer session. The university's starting date is May 21, but for graduate programs, the professor can actually go a week earlier and can go a week later. So that's why he's doing the weekend before the classes start. So look for him to be getting you an email or something. And then it'll be the same format. There'll be 7 Zoom sessions, probably on Tuesday night, and then you'll have your 3 weekends. And then your last weekend session is where I'm really looking forward to it, because I get to see you all at Boiling Springs. So hopefully you'll come down for that July 27th and 28th to Boiling Springs. Don't be super excited if you've never been to Boiling Springs. If you're looking for hotel accommodations or something, we do have 1 hotel in Boiling Springs. I would not recommend it. Shelby nearby is about 10 miles away, and it is much nicer. It has a Marriott and other type things. And our American Inn is not that bad. But you'll be getting some information from him about that as well. So, well, let's talk about, and please stop me, because this really 30 minutes or 40 minutes is really meant for you. And it's not really to talk about 700, because you all have mastered 700. Almost all of you are done completely with it. And I'm just appreciative that you have been with me this semester. So, but you are in this particular cohort. So in the spring, this is sort of how this is all going to fall out. And I want to talk about the dissertation too. But you, next semester in the summer 1, you're going to take, I got the wrong one. Just move everything. That's odd, isn't it? I picked up the wrong chart. All right, so just move everything down. That first one should be 700. I think this chart's wrong, because oh my gosh, took it straight out of the handbook. Don't ever read any of our handbooks. We're rewriting it. Anyway, just take away. This is 700. You took that in the spring. 701, the dissertation. In the summer, you're going to take 702 and 703, and then fall, spring, summer. And so when you take 708, which is the summer, next summer, that's the other course that I teach in the EDLS program. So although I don't traditionally work in the summer, I will probably ask if I can work so I can work with you all in 708 if you aren't too scared for me to come back. I've enjoyed it tremendously. So I would really like to be a part of that with you. And in 708, we have so much fun talking about the law and about policies. Oh my gosh, you will absolutely love it. Anybody rolling your eyes? Was that rolling your eyes? You will love the law, and you will love policy. It's a lot of fun. It really truly is. We go in, we study court cases, important court cases. We go in and we look at one of our policies in our district that's not necessarily the best. We rewrite it and we get to present it to the Board of Education. But anyway, moving forward. All right, so then you'll take in the fall next year, 2020, you will take look at that, there's 700. You'll take 710, and that is your last course that you take for official course. That is also, remember, if we looked at that dissertation schedule, if you have not already started somewhere up here in the 700s, 710 is too late to start picking your chair, picking your team members, and picking your topic and your questions. In 710, when you are done with 710, when you go into 712, that is 6 hours, and that means that during that semester, that is when you present your proposal. Early in 612, your chairman will call the committee, and you'll get the committee, and you'll come in and you'll kind of talk about chapters 1, 2, and 3, and you'll get the permission from the committee to move forward. Now, you may want to do it later into that 712 to give you a little bit more time to write the chapters. But you really need to start thinking up here in 702, 704. You really need to think about your topic and start thinking about your chair. Your committee will be okay. You can appoint them later. But start thinking about it, because when you get to 712, those 6 hours, because here's why. You want to be done in the summer, the third summer, because after that, you can keep taking there's a 714, there's probably a 716. We'll keep taking your money as long as you want to be in the dissertation course. But I want you to get it done, and you can technically get it done in 712, but you must get it done if I'm working with you by 713. Okay, because there's no sense in keep paying Gardner-Webb when you can finish up your doctorate. Now, because the good thing for this group is that you're not trying to do everything in the summer, because if you had to do it in the summer, then that's 10 weeks versus the 15 weeks. So lucky, I think it's good for you all that you are doing your dissertation course where you're writing and presenting chapter 1, 2, and 3 in the spring, and then you'll do your defense in the summer. And I'm looking forward to being a part of that with some of you. All right, so that's kind of where you should be. So when you're in 702, which is look at this. It is, wow. You're going to be, here's what 702, this is kind of what you will be doing in 702. It is the operations and management module. So it means you will be studying budgets, and you will be studying budgets and facilities. And the main part of it will be how school systems and how you as a central office person will be responsible for developing budgets. You'll study a little bit about budget codes, and it's much, much more complex than a principal's budget code. Trust me. When you get into the central office, and Melody, you may know this already, or those of you who've served in the central office, you may know that the budget codes that we get from the state and from the federal government are extensive. And there's a lot of rules and regulations. So whenever Melody tells you guys in Fayetteville sometimes you can't do it, she's slapping your hand, it's because she has to, because the federal regulations. So you're going to talk all about budgets. You'll talk about facilities too. You will probably go and visit a new building, probably in Fayetteville, and you will get a chance to talk about how school systems get the money for building, how they follow through the process, all of that. So you'll be an expert by the end of 702 with how we get our money and also with how we build buildings. In 702, you will also have one more big evidence, and you'll have an evidence in every single one of your courses in the EDLS program. And for this one, it's called the Systems Management Plan There are 3 parts to it, just like there are 7 in the ODP, which I'm going to fix. But there are 3 parts to it, and so you will have the same format. There'll be a Part A, Part B, Part C. They are tied here to well, these aren't really the superintendent standards, but these are what they're tied to in some vague language regarding aspiring superintendents. But just like in 700, there will be, like we did on that chart in the last time we were together, there are the superintendent standards that you'll have to match. And you do that through your product, you do that or your system management plan, as well as through coursework and through sometimes your job experiences. So that's 702. Now, any questions? And when you finally are able to read this, and I'll do this the minute I'm done, I will go back and put the instructors' names and contact information, because if you have not heard from him, I think it's a him, I don't know him or her, within the next week, I would certainly shoot an email to him and say, hey, looking forward to working with you. I'm so-and-so, and you may want to brush up on the video you did for me at the beginning of the course. Remember that, where you introduced yourself? You may want to brush up on that. I don't know if he's going to require it, or he or she is going to require that or not, but it might be something good to have. All right. I want to see. All right. Again, folks, just ignore, try not to use that handbook there too much. You'll see it often. All right. So, I know when we originally did this Zoom schedule, you were probably putting down what you were working on, your projects that you were working on. I also now know at this time that you are pretty much done with those for most of you. So at this point, I want to see if anyone has any questions. You have also received from the university and from email or announcement from me about the student opinions of instruction. That's something that the university requires for our accreditation and for the university to evaluate its instructors. Please do that. Be honest, because the feedback, what I'll get will be your honest feedback about what I need to do differently to make my next 700 even better or better, and as well as my 708. So that's how we use that. By the way, we did pass our accreditation. Thank you very much for those of you who joined in. I really do appreciate that. One of the things the team said, now we think we have, they won't make it official until October, but one of the things that was high on the marks for Gardner-Webb is that our graduates and our students like us. So I don't know if you had a chance to speak with the accreditation team when you Zoomed in with them, but they were very impressed with our students. So hats off. You guys did a super job. I'm open for questions. And at this point, let me just say, I have enjoyed being your instructor. I look forward to hopefully getting you in 708 and having fun with policies. I'll try to have some new warm, fuzzy things that we can do at the beginning of the class. So if you have any ideas you want to shoot me, feel free to do that. Because you have entered into Gardner-Webb University with me as your instructor in 700, that technically means that I am your dissertation coach, which means that any questions you have about until you name your chairman, or until you name your chairman, I'm truly the person that you need to come to for questions about the dissertation. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be your chair. It doesn't mean that I have to be your chair. But until you have selected a chair, those broad questions about the dissertation, because whoever you come in with at 700, you're stuck with me. So I'll sort of be your dissertation coach until you name your chairman, which you'll do a little bit later on in a couple of other courses. So what you should be doing now on your dissertation is really start thinking about kind of what you want to work on. And I am available all summer. I don't work in the summer, but you have my email. And since I am your coach, that means I am with you until you graduate or until you name a new chair. So feel free to call on me at any time. I've never taught 702, so I'm not going to be able to help you much with that management plan, but I'm sure you will do extremely well. All right. I've enjoyed being your instructor. Thank you very much. So at this point, does anyone have any questions, or anybody have anything you want to ask me about, or anything? Because I'm done.
Steve, do you have a projection for when we can expect to see the score on what we put in TaskStream?
Okay. Yeah, can you see any score? Because there are 2 scores. Can you even see the one that's already been done for you?
No, there's nothing that's showing up for me at all.
Then you won't be able to see it until both graders have looked at TaskStream. And I will tell you there is no rush on this end for graders, so it will be during the summer. And the reason for that is because now when you get to 710, there will be a huge rush to make sure that 710 is graded before you graduate or before we can send the certification to the state. But with the other 700 courses, it gives the instructors time to meet. I will meet with the other grader and I'll talk with them about it and about what I did with you all. And so we should have some consistency in the grading, but you really won't see it until both of us have graded it. The university has, through TaskStream, has kind of consolidated it into one score, and then you'll see. Now, I will tell you this. So please don't be surprised when you see this. What's in TaskStream now is very restrictive, and there are some places where there are no 4s available for those standards. So, I tried to override it when I went in and graded yours, Suzanne, and I think I've graded one other one, and they would not let me. So until we fix that, you're going to come back, and it will not be a perfect score 4, which I would give you a perfect score 4, honestly, because I have had your papers, I've looked at them, I've examined them. They are to where I think they should be distinguished. But just don't be surprised. It will not be a 4 because there are a couple of those superintendent standards that there is no 4 listed, which is a mistake of TaskStream. It's Gardner-Webb's mistake. We need to fix it. And so that's what I'll be working on. And I'll try to make sure that 702 has all the 4s filled in so we can actually get them. But you won't get that until it's consolidated, and then you will get a report that it's available for you to read. But you did well. All right.
Dr. Stone, quick question. When is the absolute last day to turn in anything that we may not have done on the discussion board?
Okay, I will tell you this, that remember, if you'll go back to one of those first early things, there was a number that you needed to make an A. And if you meet that number, I don't give A pluses, A minuses, I give A's. And so if you meet that number and you don't do one of the assignments or 2 of the assignments, you can still make that A. I know you, Lakeisha, and I know you're going to want to do them all because that's just your personality.
Yeah.
Once I have you at an A, I'm turning it in as an A. And if you want to continue to, so look for your scores. Let me give you the real quick little cutoff for you all. Anything above a 2970, 2790, I'm sorry. Anything above a 2790, so if you want to look at your grades and see if you've got it, that's an A. And I'm just going to mark you an A. So if you want to keep turning in the assignments, which I hope you will because they're beneficial, you can. But a 2790, that's an A. And you know, if there's one you can't do, you don't get to, don't worry about it. As long as you get to that 2790, the others are gravy, and I'd love for you to do it.
Okay, and that date is that tomorrow?
No, nope. The only thing that I need for I have to turn in your grade by May the 5th.
Okay.
So if you can do it, please. And if you are borderline A, B, do it. Get me to that A, and then worry about the others a little bit later on.
Okay.
If I don't have anything for you, well, I have everything. Well, never mind. So just get to that 2790. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you of the 11 are already there. And the rest of you just work on that for the next day or 2. Make sure you get your ODPs done. But I think really most of you have done those. Yeah, because those are the big points. You can get 200 points for Part A, 400 points for Part A. That's your really big points there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else have any general questions? And then we can start zooming off, and I'll stick around for specific questions. You have to say goodbye, though, if you're zooming off. All right.
Goodbye. Thank you, Dr. Stone.
I love it. Have fun at soccer.
Thank you.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.
See
Thank you,
y'all in a
Dr.
couple of
Stone.
weeks, y'all.
Bye, Melody.
Bye.
Bye. I've enjoyed everyone.
Bye, Lakeisha.
See you soon.
All right. Bye, everybody. I appreciate all your help.
Bye, Suzanne.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Dr. Stone.
Bye, Hope.
Thank you for everything. I have a little bit of work to do, so you'll hear from me.
Yeah, I got a little bit more. Come on, keep it coming.
I know.
So close.
Okay. I'm
All right.
working on it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Hope, did you have a question?
No, I don't know how to get. I'm trying to figure. There it is.
Don't know how to get out of there, huh?
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Hey, Angela.
Hey,
Did you have a question?
just letting you know, I started a new role today. One of our assistant principals at the high school, husband is sick, so right now I'm filling in as an assistant principal at the high school.
Awesome.
So, I came back from spring break with new duties, so I just thought that you should know, and I thank you so much for all that you've done for us. Thank you.
Congratulations. And that's just the next step to the principal and then the superintendent right after that. Good job.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Stone. We'll
You're
be in
welcome.
touch.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Matt.
Hey, Dr. Stone.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, I only missed one class, right? I didn't miss two classes.
You missed Friday. No, you missed Saturday. And you
I had
missed,
a job
yeah, you missed our last Zoom session, didn't you? No, you didn't. You just missed Saturday.
Okay. I was just
Yeah, you only missed one. You're okay. That's not why I got you, though.
Oh, no, I need to turn
You know
it
how
on.
many points you have, Matt?
100.
Oh, 100. Okay. Have you started on your ODP?
Yeah, I already know. Yeah. I've done all. So I've done all of that, but a lot of my stuff has to do with the hiring practices. So they sent me on. I've been to, where did I go? Appalachian. I've been to a couple of universities, so I was trying to gather that data in order to start all my stuff, so I can have that, so I have something to write about. But I've already started it. I don't have you said it wasn't a due date, and so I was like, all right, I'll just take my time and just hit it. But then you said you need it by March 8th.
May 8th.
Before May 8th. So I'm
Right,
putting it by May 6th.
If you can get it to me by May 8th, I need you to be at 2790.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
By May 8th.
I don't have no choice. I don't have a choice to get it to you.
don't.
By May 8th. That's the due date. I mean, I know it's not. I know. Listen, I know it's not ideal. I've been doing it. I've been struggling with this my whole life. I struggled with this in grad school at UNC. I am like the ultimate procrastinator. Like the ultimate. I don't know. I can't help it. Like I can only perform when I feel like that pressure. Like I just have to have it. I know it's bad. It's literally been like this my whole life. 27 years. 27 years it's been like this.
Okay. Well, I've never seen anyone. Well, no, you've got a colleague in class, so you're not alone. But it's I don't think so. Anyway, if you can do it by May 8th, by that morning at 8, because I think my grades have to go in at noon. So get to that 27.9.
No, you'll definitely have it. I can promise. Well, you don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I have to turn it in. So
actually, and send it to me as soon as possible. So and don't dump it all on me on May the 8th, because then I have to grade all those 30-some things. So or 20-some things. So if you've got something, just send it on as soon as you get it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
That way, because if I had it on May the 8th and it was, I had all 20 of them to do, it would slow me down from getting it in on time. So try to, as soon as you finish one, just knock them off. Concentrate on the ODP.
Okay.
But get to that 2790.
Yes, sir. No problem.
All right, Matt. Now, I tell you, and you need to be very careful when you pick your dissertation chair to make sure you get someone that's going to stay on you, because that's the thing that will sneak up on you. And procrastinating there is going to cost you money, because Gardner-Webb will let you do for 7 years. I mean, that you could be in a dissertation cycle for 5 years, but every time they're collecting 3 credit hours money from you. So don't let that happen.
Yes, sir. No problem. I'll get it done.
All right, Matt. Take care.
No problem.
Take care. Bye-bye.